Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm in my car at the moment because I'm just about to go into work, but this morning you would have seen that I did my morning pages. Today is day one of me doing the Artist Way for a whole week. I did this 5 years ago. I got the book when I was 19 or 20 and I got up to week 8. To be honest, I was very blasé about the whole thing, and when I say I did 8 weeks of it, I probably didn't really do all the tasks. I can't really remember, but we're giving it another go. I feel like I don't need to do it because I actually feel like I do honor my inner child, and I'm very creative and I'm always creating and I'm always working on something. So I don't actually feel anymore that I need to do the Artist Way, but I just thought it would be interesting to make a video doing like the first week and just seeing how it goes and talking about it with you guys, and so that if anyone's actually interested in doing it, then you can kind of get an idea of what it's like. So yeah, this morning I did my morning pages, and actually that was the best journaling session I've done ever. If you guys follow me over on TikTok, you would know that I do my daily journal entries, and I'm going to do my morning pages this week as those journal entries. So all my morning pages will be on TikTok. Obviously I'm not showing you my morning pages, but like I'll be doing the videos. Everyone's arriving to work and I'm just like sitting here talking to my camera. I had a really good stream of consciousness. I actually had a pretty insane dream last night, and I woke up and had like a few little tears in my eyes. So I kind of just journaled about my dream and like how that made me feel and stuff, and it was a really, really good stream of consciousness. So I'm ready to go and attack the day, and I'll update you guys later when I'm home from work and I do my first couple of tasks. Good morning guys, I'm about to do my morning pages, and I was meant to do one of my tasks last night, but I got really caught up doing my taxes. I've swapped over all my accounting software, and so the software that I'm now using is going to be doing my tax for me from last year, but I have to compile everything, which I already did on the other software, but then that software's locked me out because I've unsubscribed. I'm so annoyed. I got really caught up doing that last night, and so I've added the tasks to do this afternoon. So I've got like 4 things I'm going to do this arvo. But let's start this morning with my morning pages, and then I've got to go to work, and then when I come home we'll do the tasks. All done. Basically for the week there's like 10 tasks, and you don't have to do them in order, and then we have to do a check-in as well. Now one of the tasks is also to go on a brisk 20-minute walk. Look, I exercise every day. Like yesterday Molly and I went and swam laps, and then this afternoon I'm going on a run, so I'm not really gonna waste my time going for a walk on top of that. Let me know if you guys think that's cheating. I've had a very busy day, but I'm gonna sit down and do my tasks now. The first 2 that I'm gonna start off with are creating my Monster Hall of Fame, and then picking one of them and writing a story. Okay, so basically what I have to do for the Monsters Hall of Fame is pick 3 of my old enemies of my creative self-worth. So anyone who has made me question my abilities or like dulled any sort of creative spark in me. Already I can think of a few. So Monster Hall of Fame. I can't think of a third person off the top of my head. I'm sure it would come to me. I'm thinking about just leaving it at 2. Oh, you know what? I just thought of the third. I just thought of it. Okay, so now I have to pick one of them and write out what they did to make me basically question my entire existence as a creative person. I'm going to pick the one that I put as number 1 because it's the story that sticks most in my head. But just know this person, karma's coming, all right? I'm actually going to read you guys what I wrote, but without using names, because Newcastle is way too small. But this happened to me in high school when I was going to Nashville. So basically what happened was I used to get guitar lessons at school with my guitar teacher, and one of the history teachers who I loved would let me put my guitar in her classroom for the day because it was close to my guitar teacher's room and it meant that I didn't have to carry my guitar around all day. Anyway, when I was off to Nashville, I posted this photo and I wrote the caption, "Off to Nashville." I was literally 15 years old, more excited than I've ever been about anything in my life, because I was like, it had been my dream to go to Nashville and I won a competition that sent me there. That is pretty cool to be 15 and have that happen. Anyway, so I posted that on my story, and then this one day after I got home, my guitar was sitting in my history teacher's classroom in its case, and this guy like got one of his friends to take a picture of him holding it with the same pose that I did, put it on his story and was like, "Off to Nashville," and was basically just like making fun of me, and I've never forgotten it. And I see this guy around actually quite a lot because Newcastle's such a small place, and he's so nice to me all the time. Like every time he sees me, he's very pleasant and he says hello and he's nice. But I hope that that haunts him every day for the rest of his life. So that's my Hall of Fame horror stories. So that's 2 tasks down. So the next task is asking me to write a letter in the voice of my wounded artist child in regards to this situation. So I'm gonna close my eyes. Okay, my letter to the editor. This is what I wrote. "To whom it may concern, such and friends are at it again with their relentless taunts and mimics just for a couple of laughs. The only thing is that no one outside of their incestuousness thinks it's funny." Is incestuousness even a word? I'm not really sure. "I know, because all I see is jealousy and someone who could barely achieve a participation award. And for what? Well, nothing. He's got no hobbies. L. Crane." Signature. "If you had 5 other lives to lead, what would you do in each of them?" So I have to pick 5 alternative parallel universes where I have a different life. And then it's saying, don't overthink it. The point of these lives is to have fun in them. I've gone with 5 really interesting options. They're all quite creative and they all, like, when I thought about doing them as a job, I was like, oh my god, yes. So the first one was interior designer, and fun fact, when I was a kid, I really wanted to be an interior designer, and there was this show on Lifestyle Channel called Divine Design, and I used to watch it religiously all the time, and I actually want to find it and go back and watch it one time because all the rooms are so like early 2000s. It's actually so funny. Like, it would be really funny to watch because like what she would turn them into would be so old school now. So interior designer was my first one. My second one was finance bro. Guys, I love money, I love numbers, I love Excel, I love budgets, and I've always said to my friends, in a parallel universe, I would 100% be a finance bro. The third one was a cake business owner. One of my sister's best friends has a cake and cookie business and it looks so fun. I just feel like it would be so fun to like make and decorate cookies and cakes. The fourth one is an author, obviously fiction. I'm not really sure what genre I would write. Definitely like something a little bit romantic, but not the whole plot line because that's not really what I like to read. I like a little bit of romance, but I like heaps of other shit going on around it. But I would love to write a book. And then the fifth one was a fashion stylist because that would be so interesting, and just learning about fashion and styling would be really cool to me because I honestly know nothing about it. My style's very, where is it? I'm not sure. I don't know if I really have a style, but whatever it is, it's not that great. So I'd love to learn how to get better at that. Oh, and on Pinterest, I'm always pinning those, like, you know, when people do like the collages of the outfits with the jewelry and the shoes and the bags, the top, the skirt. I love looking at them and then wishing that I had that outfit. So that is the end of day 2. I loved all those tasks. They were actually a lot more fun than I thought they were going to be, and I really enjoyed doing them, and they felt super creative and super fun, and it just like really got me thinking about stuff that I wouldn't normally think about. So I really enjoyed doing them, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the morning. Bye. done my morning pages. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do is list 3 champions of my creative self-worth is what it says. List 3 old champions of your creative self-worth. This is your Hall of Champions. Sorry guys, you might have seen last night I started doing the Hall of Champions and then my phone died, and honestly I took that as a sign to just be like, I'm not doing this anymore tonight. So 3 people I thought of. Okay, went down a bit of an interesting route for this. So the first person that I thought of is this woman that I work with. I have a part-time 3 days per week job and I love it. It's so good. And it's just so nice to have a lovely job that I enjoy that gives me stable income every week as well. So as a creative person and as someone who has multiple streams of income coming from different sources, it's nice to just have that one stream of income every week that's the same. I worked there full-time 5 days a week in 2023, and just being full-time killed me. And I ended up stopping altogether at the end of 2023 and going away and not working there at all in 2024, and then got really broke and like really craved that stability again. So now I'm back, but I'm only doing 3 days a week. But there was a lady in 2023 who I worked quite closely with. And I remember she pulled me aside one day at work, and it had been quite a tough day, and I was just feeling really drained, exhausted, and I was just kind of like, you know what, like, what am I doing? And because I was 5 days a week, although I loved the job, like I just had no time to work on any of my creative endeavors, because when I'd get home from work, I was feeling super drained, and like, it's just so mentally tolling, and you get home and you're just like, oh my God, I feel like anyone with a full-time job would feel the same way. And she pulled me aside one day, she said, your wings are being clipped. Don't let this job clip your wings. I want to see you succeed creatively. She knew I was a musician, and she loved that I did that. Like, she loved that I had something outside of work to keep my mind active and be creative with, like, just some sort of side project, basically. I can't remember word for word what she said, but it really stuck with me. And that is actually the reason why I am not full-time there anymore. And it's all because of her and what she said. And I was like, you know what? You are right. And fortunately for me, I'm able to make money through other sources as well. So I don't need to be full-time, but I do love the job. So luckily I'm able to, because my boss is literally a godsend. Luckily I'm able to just work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I have the rest of the week to make money from my other sources of income and also just work on all my creative projects. So that really stuck with me, and her pulling me aside and saying that, I said, holy shit, like other people can see what I'm thinking. Like this mustn't be aligned with where I'm at in life, if that makes sense. So she's number 1 for me. I know that's not really, I feel like this task was meant to be like someone complimenting you and telling you that they think that you're talented and stuff. But this task to me is a bit different. Like I'm sort of going at this task in a way of like people who changed how I thought about my creative self. The second woman is someone who definitely had a major impact on my creative artistry. So when I was 15, I started doing some cover gigs. I was allowed to play in the pub as long as my parents came and were there for the entire duration of my cover gig, and then took me back home afterwards. So I was able to start making money from cover gigs at 15. I think I was actually 14. When I turned 15 and I'd sort of been gigging a little bit, and I was trying to network and meet other musicians and blah, 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 do all this stuff just to get my name out there. And I was playing in my neighbor's backyard they had like an afternoon sort of house party vibe. And I was just playing chilled acoustic music, singing, whatever. And had my little tiny PA at the time. Like I think I just had like an acoustic guitar amp set up in the corner and a mic plugged into the same amp. It was a tiny setup, and I was just playing, and this older lady came up to me and said that she really liked me and she thought I was very talented, and she thought I had a very special energy and aura around me while I was playing and stuff like that. And we got talking, and at the time I was saving up for a really good guitar, because I had a guitar but it was like just a cheapy little guitar, and now that I was doing it like properly and actually making money from music, I wanted to buy myself a really good guitar. And in my family, it was always, if you want something, you work for it, you save up for it, and then you get it. And that's the whole reward in itself. So I'd been actively saving heaps of money to try and buy myself a guitar. Like I was going to save like $3,000 or something and buy myself something really, really good. Anyway, I was telling her about that and she was like, wow, that's amazing. You should be so proud of yourself. Like, good on you, blah, blah, blah. Then she went and spoke to my parents and my dad came up to me a few hours later and he was like, I have to tell you something. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, we've just had this lady come up to us and tell us she wants to give you the rest of the money that you need for your guitar. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. Anyway, apparently her and her husband spoke to my parents for a really long time about it. And my parents ended up coming around and she gave me quite a sum of money to buy my dream guitar. That to me was like it's not just the money, it's like you actually believe in me that much that you are willing to invest in my artistry. And I was so grateful, and I went out like the next week and bought my dream guitar that I'd been saving up for, and it's actually the only acoustic guitar I own right now. 10 years later, I use it for every single gig, every single wedding I've ever played, every pub gig, every song I've written, everything. It has been my ride or die. I don't have another acoustic guitar because I feel like I don't need another acoustic guitar because that one is just everything to me. And so she's my number 2. And my third one is actually my dad, because last year, this is a really long story, so I'm just going to shorten it, and I can do other videos where I talk about like what happened to me last year, because I had a wild ride last year. But I ended up living in Melbourne for 5 months with my dad last year. I was just not having a good time. I was really lost. I was really confused. I'd just turned 23 and I was like, I don't know what I want to do. Like, as much as I love music and I love writing songs and I do love playing music, like I don't want to be playing covers in the pub forever, and like I feel like I'm on my way to doing that. Like I'm sick of chasing artistry and original music. I've changed my perspective so much now, so I'm so glad I came out of that. But I was living with my dad at the time when I was going through all of this, and one day I came out to him and I said, I'm going to sell my PA system, because I was so poor. I was very much just like, I'm not doing music anymore. Like I'd had a couple of gigs that I'd done that I really hated, and I just wasn't in a good headspace creatively. So I came out to dad and I said, I'm going to sell my PA system. I'm going to put it up right now. Like I'm done. Like I'm actually fucking done. If I never play a cover gig again, I don't care. Like that's word for word what I said. And he was like, what the hell? There was a lot of emotion in this, by the way. Like it wasn't just me coming out. It was like there were tears and like it was just, yeah, it was not good. Anyway, dad ended up convincing me not to sell my PA system. He was like, seriously, mate, like you actually just like, I don't know what's going on right now, but like, don't do it. Like you will regret it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, ended up coming home with my PA system back to Newcastle, and I'm living here now, and then ended up signing to an agency. I'm getting so much work now that if I had sold my PA system, I would have been fucked. Like actually fucked. And I think I just needed someone to sit me down and just be like, what the fuck are you going on about? And my dad did that. So thank you, Dad, for that. But that is my Hall of Champions. Asking me to write a thank you letter to one of my Hall of Champions and then hide it. So I'm just going to write it in my journal, and yeah, that's all the tasks for today. Guys, I've been so unmotivated to do this week, but I've stuck with it purely because I knew I wanted to make a YouTube video about it. But I'm going to be real with you guys. This is fucking hard. And I think also, like I know I said at the start of the video, yes, I don't have issues with creative block anymore. I purely do all my creative things because I want to, not because I feel like I have to or because I'm trying to chase an outcome for something. I'm purely doing it all because I want to. So if I don't want to do something creatively, I'm not going to do it, right? I'm trying not to force things onto myself. Let's not say trying. I'm not forcing anything onto myself anymore. And that's why I've had such a good year this year. So kind of having to force myself to do these tasks in the artist way that I feel like I've sort of already overcome over the last 2 years, it's kind of been a little bit unmotivating for me. So I haven't felt super driven and super disciplined to sit down and do all the tasks for week 1. However, we've gotten through them. Do I think I could have put more effort into them? Yes, I do. I think if you are actually blocked as a creator, this is going to be so helpful for you. I do think you will also struggle to find the discipline to sit down and do it though. Like the tasks they come across as easy, but they are hard mentally. They are difficult. So I don't know if that made any sense, but hopefully you guys sort of get the gist of what I'm talking about. But yeah, let's write this thank you letter. And then I have another YouTube video I need to film today just quickly. And then I'm going to continue editing this one. And I will see you guys tomorrow. And we're doing the artist date tomorrow. So I'll have to plan out what I'm doing for that as well. So today I'm doing my artist date. I've just come to the beach because it's the first sunny day in Newcastle in literally a week. I'm gonna get a coffee and then I've got my swimmers on because it actually looks really nice down there. And I'm going to do my morning pages on the beach with my coffee. And then I'm going to go for a swim. And then I am going to read my Kindle on the sand for a bit. It is so nice today out on the beach. Journal. I'm gonna do my morning pages and then read my Kindle for a bit. And then I'll probably get bored and I'll need to go home and do something else. Okay. The sun's like disappeared now. And it's gotten really cold. All right, I'm officially bored. I've been here for like 20 minutes. What I want to do is go to my grandparents' house and see them. And then they have like a really cool backyard. It's kind of like a whimsical fairy garden, but like a furniture hoarder edition. And I really want to take like my drawing book and try and draw something there. Say hello, Granny.
Oh, no.
Looking at everything.
That's actually a light. Supposed to go in there like so.
That is nice. I like it. What's this?
Fishing pole.
No, what is it?
It's a Gonome fishing.
See? I've just been walking around with Granny for like the last hour and a half looking at just everything around the place, and it actually is such a good little artist date because I just like, it really takes me back to when I was a kid and we used to come here and just basically go treasure hunting. Like there was always something to look at, something to explore. It just feels very creative and very like, it's like creative mess. Like this pergola, my grandpa built this like last year. He's literally 83 and he built it on his own, and he's just like hung all these like plants and stuff, and it's just so cool and it looks really nice to walk under. Anyway, so that's been nice. I think I'm going to do some drawing now. So I've got my oil pastels, my drawing book, rubber, and ruler. Okay, I've got yes or no on the rubber. Ready? Does my crush like me back? No. Okay. And I've got like colored pencils and stuff in here. Okay, so this is where we're at. I've decided I'm drawing that pot plant just there. Granny's just come out with her coffee and had a look at what I was drawing, and she's going to show Pop-Pops. She's just taken my sketchbook and walked away with it. So hopefully she will remember to come back. Hold it so you can see me drawing.
Oh, I don't people believe you.
Granny is filming for me now. Okay, just hold it for a couple of seconds, all right? Like this.
You tell them it's Bob's favourite plant.
It's Bob's favourite plant.
Pot plant.
Pot plant. Okay, that's good. Thanks.
What was that?
I've just found this and it sounds like a really good story. It's like a massive book. It's a large print edition of Out of the Silent Planet by C.S. Lewis. I know that's the author of a very famous story. Is it Alice in Wonderland? I'll have to look it up. I'll put it here if I figure it out. But it sounds like a really good story. I might just take this home and read it, I think. It sounds really interesting. And I kind of like these kinds of stories, but look at this. It's like, so it's like A4 size. And then it's obviously very old. And then it's got like that kind of writing. It's so cool. Anyway, I'm gonna take that. You've officially come to the end of the video. Look, I think I summed up pretty well what I thought about this whole week a few scenes back when I was in the kitchen talking about how I don't feel like I am a blocked creative anymore, but I feel like this would help someone who was blocked. I'm not gonna lie, I struggled this week to do all that. I did do all my morning pages because I'm doing the journal with me every day on TikTok, so I couldn't like film both at the same time to like put the morning pages every day into my YouTube videos. So all the morning pages are on TikTok. I've done them all. I really enjoyed it. I think my favorite part was obviously the artist date. I actually had such a good time just like treasure hunting at Granny and Bob's house. That was really fun. I've got a big haul of stuff that I've brought home from their place that I will probably put up over on TikTok. I feel like I can actually see with Granny and Bob's house, like as I get older, through their eyes a little bit more, and it does actually feel like creative chaos there. It's just that it's sort of a little bit out of hand, but that's okay. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know if I loved it. I'm editing it right now. I think I'd like to actually read the book fully first again, just to get a gist of like what else is in there, and then maybe after I've read the book do the tasks. But yeah, I had fun. The artist date was the best part, and I think that's you actually doing the creative thing. And I think for me, I'm pretty well past the shadow work of a blocked creative. I don't really feel that I need that anymore. I feel like I've done a lot of the work and I don't feel blocked. So it was kind of hard to be motivated to do the written tasks and stuff like that because I just don't feel that I needed to do them, so it kind of felt like I was wasting my time a little bit, but obviously like I did it for the video, you know, just being honest. But yeah, I had so much fun on my artist date and I actually love all the footage that I got, and I did manage to draw a little picture, which was nice. With that being said, let me know what you guys thought of the video. Are you gonna try the artist way? Have you tried it in the past? Where did you get up to? I want to know all the details, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.